What's up, YouTube? So before we get started on the Stephen A. Smith show, Stephen's going to go over how LeBron James just made some comments about how he has nothing else to prove. He's earned his rings. You know, he's not out to prove anything. So anything else that happens in his careers is nothing but icing on the cake. So I have a major problem with that because I think pretty much all he's doing is he's trying to set up the excuse so when he doesn't win any more rings with the Lakers, that, he's already, I've already done everything I could do. I wasn't trying to win any rings, I just came here to end my career out. I think he's trying to make excuses. I think he's trying to make excuses for, when he doesn't go to a finals again, it doesn't have to make the excuses for why he's 3-7. He doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't have to worry about going to the playoffs again and getting beat up. So let's hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say.
Looking at. And if you bet your bottom dollar that there's NBA players that's looking at it like that. Now, let me tell you why LeBron James is in a tight spot. Because there's really no excuse not to go out there and get somebody. You know why? Half the players got a home in L.A. in the offseason anyway. Which gives you an indication of where they would really like to be. So if I got a home in L.A., and Kevin Durant's got a home in L.A. And Anthony Davis has a home in L.A. And it's possible Kyrie, if he doesn't have one yet, is going to have a home in L.A. And Kawhi Leonard has got a $13 million property towards San Diego because he went to San Diego State and he loves Southern California and all of that other stuff. If you LeBron, how come you can't get one of these brothers to come play with you?
The reason why he can't get in those players, Stephen A., which we've already been over this before in other videos, is nobody wants to deal with the flack that comes with LeBron James. Nobody wants to deal with that kind of drama. I mean, look, Kawhi Leonard obviously had a chance to come play with LeBron, but he chose to go to Toronto a couple months ago. Paul George had a chance to come play with LeBron a couple months ago, but declined. Now he's with OKC. Who else is there? Kevin Durant might come to L.A., once he's through with winning a championship this year with Golden State. Maybe Kyrie Irving is possibly thinking about coming to reunite with LeBron, but Kyrie left the first time when he was with Cleveland, when they were going up against, could have had a good showdown against the Golden State Warriors. So nobody wants to play with this guy because whenever they're winning, it's all praise LeBron. He's the best player. That's why they're winning. But when something goes wrong and they're losing, it's LeBron pointing fingers at you, LeBron pointing fingers at, other players. He's throwing people under the bus. He's acting passive aggressive. And LeBron is lucky because last year, when they went up against Boston, Boston almost got them. If Boston was fighting on all cylinders, LeBron would have got beat. He wouldn't have made it to the finals. Because I think that Boston-Cleveland series went 4-3. And if Kyrie was playing, and I think, who was it? What's his name? I forgot his name. But and one other player was hurt. LeBron would have made it to the finals again. Which it doesn't matter because he got swept anyways. But let's continue on to see what Stephen A. Smith has to say.
In L.A., wearing a Lakers uniform. This ain't just about Magic anymore. This is about LeBron and whether or not he can recruit. Now, LeBron was on record. And do we have that sound with him talking about how he has nothing to prove? Because that's a big deal. That's a big deal. If we have it, play it now, please.
There's nothing I need to get in this league that I don't already have. So, everything else, for me is just like just icing on the cake. I love, the process of everything that I go through to be able to compete every single night, put teams in position to compete for championships. But there's nothing that I'm chasing or that I feel like I need to end my career on.
Here's the deal.
So LeBron better not come to L.A. and not be worried about proving anything and not worry about chasing rings. I mean, what other superstar do you know who would say something like that? It doesn't matter if you win a ring every single year. You want to win a ring the next year just as much as the first time. Would you ever hear Michael Jordan say, I've done everything I can do. I'm not worried about chasing rings. Anything that happens after this is nothing but icing on the cake? Would you ever hear Kobe Bryant say, I've done everything I can do? Anything I can do after this is icing on the cake. I'm not worried about chasing rings. Would you ever hear whoever you would think would be the GOAT? Would you ever think the GOAT would say anything like, "I've done everything I can do. I'm not worried about chasing rings. I'm not worried about winning"? I mean, what GOAT, what person with any type of drive, with any type of heart would say something like that? I've done everything I can do. I'm not chasing rings. You better not say anything like that. What you come to LA for? LA is known to win. The Lakers are known to win. So if you're not coming here trying to prove anything, trying to get rings, to try and do anything like that, what are you here for? What you come to LA for? People in LA are spoiled. They're spoiled with winning. They're used to the Lakers winning. They're used to the LA Dodgers winning, which they've been winning. Thank you, Mr. Kershaw. I mean, look at people in LA are spoiled. Look at the Rams. The Rams just went to the Super Bowl. People in LA are spoiled. They're here to win, let alone the rest of California. But you better not come here talking about you proved yourself. You've done everything you can do. MJ would never say that. Kobe would never say that. Anybody who you think would be the GOAT would never say anything like that. Let's continue on.
Let's call this what it is. First of all, let's not insult LeBron James. It's not like he's going on the court and doesn't care about winning. That particular statement right there was about LeBron reminding everybody, as he has every right to, by the way. Let's not forget, don't talk to me like I'm some champion. I'm some wannabe champion chasing the ring. I already got 3.
That's not the point. I think LeBron and Stephen A are missing the point. You've done nothing in LA till you've done something. It doesn't matter what your resume says. It doesn't matter what you've done with other teams. You've done nothing in LA. You haven't won a championship in LA. So you're nothing. You haven't done anything. It doesn't carry over. The clock resets. The clock resets when you come to LA. You're sitting at 0 rings when you come to LA. There's so many superstars that have come to LA that just your presence of coming here and done something else with some other team means nothing. The bar is set high. So it doesn't matter what you've done before. It doesn't matter. The clock resets. You're sitting at 0. You've done nothing in LA. That's the point. That's why a lot of people got mad when LeBron first got to LA, and people were calling him the king. They said, "Oh, the king is here. LeBron's the king of LA." No, you're not the king of LA. You're not even the prince. If anything, Kobe's the king of LA. Magic's the king of LA. Shaq's the king of LA. Wilt's the king of LA. Kareem's the king of LA. I mean, you've done nothing until you've done something in LA. So LeBron, you've done nothing. It doesn't matter what you've done. The clock resets. Let's continue on.
Because the experiences that he had to endure in pursuit of that first championship was so real, so daunting, and so excruciating in his eyes that let's be clear about something, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't deserve to have to go through that again. You should not talk.
Is LeBron the only person that's ever gone through a hard time trying to get the first ring? Oh, boo-hoo, LeBron. Things were tough for you before you got your first ring. You're not the only one. It's tough for everybody. You think Michael Jordan enjoyed having to go through the Pistons bad boys? You think he enjoyed having to go through Isaiah Thomas? You think he had a blast? Everything was fine? You think Kobe had a fun time shooting those last 3 air balls at the end of the season that would have put them into the playoffs, if I recall? You think Kobe had a fun time? No, nobody has a fun time trying to get their rings. So stop crying about that, LeBron. You don't get credit for that. We're going to harass you in LA. We're going to push you in LA until you win a ring. Because the clock resets. It doesn't matter what you've been through with other teams. You don't get a pass because things are rough. As a matter of fact, I think it took you and Michael Jordan the same amount of time to get your first ring. So stop crying. Let's move on. Let's keep it going, Stephen A.
LeBron James. And I'll be the first to admit, I'll come to his defense and tell you, you can't do that to him. You can't talk to him like he's some dude that has never won.
That's it right there, Stephen A. He hasn't won. He hasn't won in L.A. He hasn't done anything in L.A. The clock resets when you become a Los Angeles Laker. He hasn't done anything, and that's the point.
and that you got to make sure to hold him accountable and treat him like he's chasing some elusive championship that he's never captured. No, he has 3 of them, ladies and gentlemen. 2 in Miami, 1 in Cleveland. He went to...
And none in L.A. 0 rings in L.A.
8 straight NBA Finals. You can't tell him anything in that regard, but I will say this. There is something to be said about being the greatest Laker ever to have never won an NBA championship. The only marquee in the history of the Lakers franchise to never have won a marquee of championship. I understand you want to throw Elgin Baylor in there, and that's fine. Because he retired the year that Jerry West and those boys won it. He retired midway through that season. But let's understand that there was Jerry West and there was Will Chamberlain. And so it wasn't like Elgin Baylor was that dude when he hooked up with Jerry West and these guys. LeBron is still the greatest player in the world. If LeBron doesn't win a championship, he would be that marquee, that one marquee to have failed to bring a championship to L.A. in a Lakers uniform. George Mikan.
So that means something, like we've already gone over. LeBron will be the biggest Laker, the biggest star attraction, the biggest superstar to wear the Laker uniform and not win a championship. So to add on to that, there's no way you can be the GOAT and be 3-6 alone, just alone. You can't be the GOAT for 3-6, let alone be a Laker and never win a championship. There's no way you can be 3-6 in the finals and be a Laker and never win a championship. There's no way. There's no way. So carry on, Stephen A.
Did it. Will Chamberlain did it. Jerry West did it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it. Magic Johnson did it. Shaq did it. Kobe did it. If LeBron fails to do so, he will be the only person in the history of the franchise to have failed to bring the chip to L.A. as a marquee. Every single marquee for the Lakers delivered a championship. He would be the first to have failed to do so. Now, you can sit up there and joke around like others have. Says, look, man, he's going to do the best he can, but when the season's over, he's going to be chilling in the south of France. All is well.
No, Stephen A. There is no do the best you can. Do the best you can is for other teams. But for the Los Angeles Lakers, do the best you can is not enough. Like I said, the superstars that have come through have done it with the best of teams, full of superstars, and won championships with no superstars. Kobe did it after Shaq left. He won 2 rings, which is Paul Gasol. I can't really remember anybody else that he played with that Kobe got his 2 rings. Kobe proved himself. It was like, you can't do it without Shaq. Kobe did it twice. Showtime Magic, teams were stacked. So it's from the best of teams to the worst of teams, people get it done. So you trying to tell me LeBron can't get it done? Because I tell you what, if LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers were winning right now, if they were at the top of the division by a couple games, LeBron wouldn't be making these excuses talking about, oh, well, I've done everything I could do. I've got nothing to prove. He wouldn't be saying anything like that. He'd be saying nothing like that. But since, again, now that they're losing, well, no, LeBron doesn't have enough. He needs Anthony Davis. He needs this and that. Is he going to be able to get it done? No. He's setting up excuses because he knows it doesn't look good. Because people don't want to play with him, for one. For 2, he's getting older. For 3, his team's not, he doesn't have anybody on his team. And 3 or 4, the West is too strong. You're not playing in the East anymore, LeBron. You got to go through the OKCs. You got to go through the Houstons. You got to go through the Golden States. And it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. And you probably most likely won't win a ring again. So the excuses start flying out. But carry on, Stephen A.
Ain't that simple. It ain't what it was when he was chasing that elusive title, but it ain't as simple as they trying to make it out to be either. You got to go and recruit. If I got cats that want to be here and want to buy homes here and want to live here, why am I struggling to get them to play in a Laker uniform when I'm still recognized as the best in the world? I still got game and I'm right here. Why would that be a problem? Ultimately, I have to look at you. If you're LeBron James, because you play for a storied franchise, they got the cap space to bring a marquee dude in here. Can you get them to recruit? Can you get a Kawhi to pass on the Clippers to come to you? Can you get a Kevin Durant to leave Golden State and come help you capture more championships? Or can you perform a mea culpa, acknowledge to Kyrie Irving that, you know what, you could have handled things differently your damn self, and then go about the business of reuniting with Kyrie? I'm not saying
that's too below LeBron to do something like that. LeBron's never going to admit that he may have handled things wrong with Kyrie and that they should probably been teammates, or maybe they could reconcile and be teammates again in LA. He can't do that. And it's obvious nobody wants to play with LeBron because look at Kyrie. He went to Toronto. Paul George is in Oklahoma right now. Oklahoma. Kyrie he's in Boston, obviously. He went to Boston. And he's looking at going someplace else. But nobody wants to come to LA with all the glitz, the glamour, Hollywood, everything that goes along with being in LA and playing as a Laker. They were giving all that up because they didn't want to deal with LeBron. How bad does it have to be? How bad does LeBron have to be? Let's carry on.
that's going to happen, because I don't think it is. But I'm just saying, these are your options if you're LeBron. Or you can recruit Klay Thompson and say, aren't you tired of being second fiddle to Steph Curry as the greatest shooter on the planet?
And you might be able to land Klay, but Klay seems like he doesn't seem like the alpha male-ish type. He doesn't seem like he'd be wanting to go against the grain and, you know, possibly get into it with LeBron. I think Klay just seems kind of quiet. I don't want to say anything bad about him. Klay's a baller. He's one of the best shooters, but I just don't see him as being the strong type, as in, you know, going against LeBron or really wanting to get into it with LeBron. I think that's why he fits so good into the Golden State system, because none of them are really like strong-willed, you will, other than Draymond Green. You know, they all have the same kind of quiet personality. I think that's why they mesh so well. But I could be wrong. I just never really heard Klay say too much. But let's continue on.
You can shoot more if you're here. I'll get you the ball. You can do that if you're LeBron. It's something worth thinking about. It really, really is. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. That's why he picked the roster that he picked for the All-Star weekend. Got a whole bunch of free agents he's going to have an opportunity to spend extra time with. Come on to L.A., y'all. What's up? What time is it? Let's do this. That's what he'll probably be saying. We'll see if it works.